वासुदेवाय
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Good afternoon. What are you all doing? Keeping well? Happy? So we, as a generation, we ought to be more joyful than what we are now. But somehow, we postpone our happiness for tomorrow. We put a condition for happiness. When I get that, when I achieve that, I'll be happy. So once you get that, that joy doesn't last long, only 3-4 days. And again you set another goal. When I get that, I'll be happy. So you keep postponing your joy for tomorrow. That tomorrow doesn't come. It never comes. So those who are in the moment, in the present, are joyful and happy. They are joyful and happy always. Those who postpone their joy for tomorrow, they will never be happy. So be in the moment and be joyful and happy, okay? Right. Are you okay for a joke? Right. You know, a young man went to Socrates, the Greek philosopher. Socrates used to teach a lot about dispassion, renunciation, seeking truth. Then the young man, again and again, the Socrates preaches dispassion and renunciation. Sir, should I marry or not? Then Socrates said, by all means, either you will become a philosopher or a madman. So, now I want to continue with my yesterday's topic. You remember the topic? Today, Arun asked, Mother, what is the topic for today? They said, great mother, great child. Who is a great mother? A spiritually empowered mother is a great mother. She will be able to bring a great life into the world. Today, as I mentioned yesterday, as women are also getting education on par with men and they are also employed, They become too busy and they get preoccupied with career so much that they are not able to do justice to their role as mothers. Because they are so busy, so preoccupied, they also have a lot of tensions, worries, stress, and that is affecting the baby in so many ways. And so it's the responsibility of the society and the families to extend them the necessary support at that point of time. Particularly husbands have a great role to play. So just to generate awareness, actually we have started a program by name Arijanani. It has been going on for the last 5 years. The idea is to educate the entire family that an expectant mother, a pregnant woman actually needs that support, psychological and emotional support. Government is doing something, but the government's focus is only on nutrition. Nutrition is also a factor. Mother has to eat well. But there are middle class families, upper middle class and rich people where nutrition is not a problem at all. But in those families also we see children being born with congenital disorders. That is because of stress to the mother. So we are generating awareness. This is a great science, in fact. Human life is not a simple thing. We need to bring life consciously into the world. As you are tomorrow's generation and you are going to bring the next generation, you have the sacred responsibility upon yourself. You should graduate to that conscious parenting. You see, in our life, whatever we do only to enhance our happiness. Okay? You educate yourself because you want to get a good job. When you have a good job, you have more money. Okay, that is to enhance your happiness. Yes or no? Right? And then afterwards you go for marriage. Again, actually to enhance your experience of life. You want more happiness and more joy. Everybody is seeking that. You're trying to enhance it through money, through job, through marriage. And then through children also. Why you want child? Actually because you want to enhance your happiness. Quantum of happiness you want to enhance. But you see, if you get a well-behaved child, you just see in families, if a well-behaved child you have in your midst, so much of joy will be there in the family, right? Once there is a little baby in the family, everybody will become very active. And old people also forget their illnesses, their diseases, because the fresh life brings so much of joy into the family. But it must be a well-behaved child. Today, the modern doctors are saying that after the advent of this ultrasound, the baby in the womb of mother is very alert and very conscious. All these days, doctors believed that it was just a lump of flesh there, unconscious. Okay? Our rishis have been saying it for ages. You know the story of Prahlada. You know the story of Abhimanyu. You know the story of Parikshit. Our rishis have been saying, scriptures have been saying for ages that the baby, fetus in the womb is very, very sensitive to all impulses, positive and negative. So what the mother thinks and what kind of emotion she generates at that point of time is of great significance to the baby. And she should not have much of negative thoughts and also negative emotions. So whatever the circumstances, if he generates negative thought and emotion at that particular point of time, for her it may be a passing thought and passing emotion, passing negative thought and passing negative emotion. But for the baby, it will do irreversible damage. That's what happened in the Mahabharata. So people think that who is responsible for the Mahabharata? If you put a question, somebody will say you Karna is responsible, somebody will say you Shakuni is responsible. Somebody will say you Duryodhana is responsible, somebody will say you Draupadi is responsible, somebody will say that Krishna is responsible. But ultimately, it was Mother Gandhari who was responsible for the Mahabharata war. You may ask why and how. When the children were growing in her womb, she entertained this negative emotion called jealousy. She felt jealous of Kunti because Kunti had child before her. You know the story, right? Kunti had child before her. Kunti was younger to her. So her son, because elder to my children, actually they would become king. And that generated such jealousy in her. It was not in her nature to feel jealous of Kunti, but that particular moment, she was not conscious. How my negative emotion would impact the baby in my womb, she did not think on that. And wicked children were born. 100 Kauravas were born. So much so that she hit on her tummy and stomach, and then she delivered a mass of flesh. And Vyasa comes and says, "Oh, foolish lady, what you have done." So he divides that lump of flesh into 100 parts, and then actually, so kind of test tube babies, they came out with 100. And then all the wise people of the country at that point of time advised Dhritarashtra, this first child of you, Duryodhana, will become responsible for a great war. The entire clan will get destroyed. Abandon this child. Okay? Abandon this child and put him somewhere in the forest. The jackals and wolves will eat up that boy. At least one out of 100, you give up this boy. But Dhritarashtra was very, very attached to that newborn baby, and he could not. And ultimately, it led to a fratricidal holocaust. A great war, named Kurukshetra war. Lakhs died in that. One person responsible. Who was responsible ultimately? It was Gandhari. Because she was not aware this negative emotion that was coming into her mind, how it would impact the baby in the womb, she was not conscious. The only one message that comes to us from this Mahabharata is this: the prenatal influence is so powerful. The Lord is saying, even I cannot undo it. How much of counseling went for Duryodhana? How many people counseled him? Pandavas are your cousins only. Just 5 villages you give and save the war. You know, after the war, Gandhari blames Krishna. You could have saved, you could have, prevented the war, but you didn't do enough, Krishna. I did everything actually. I asked your son, at least 5 villages you give to your cousins and save the war, but he did not listen to me. That's the message. Prenatal influence is so powerful, even I cannot undo, the Lord is saying. Nature won't take any excuses. As actually future parents, bear this point in mind and bring children consciously into the world. And I'm busy, I couldn't get the quality time. No excuse nature will take. You have to do some tapas. You have to be very calm, contemplative, peaceful, joyful, read scriptures, read good bhajans, how you conduct yourself at a particular time. And that depends the quality of the child. He could be a Mahatma or Duratma. Okay, it's a great science. Thank you. Have a nice day.